Okay, Kristen, take it away. You're muted. Hold on.
Oh,
Okay, you're good.
hey guys. I'm gonna talk while I fix my hair really quickly. So my name is Kristen and I'm a diamond in the business. I started June 18th of 2017. So I am coming up on my year anniversary. I'm so pumped. Okay, when I started, basically I was going through quite a bit with my husband and I was going through quite a bit with my husband and I needed some extra money. I needed $500 extra, and I found this girl on Facebook, and that was Kelsey Thornton. And she had been posting for like a year, and I was just like, I wonder what she's doing. So I reached out to her, had a conversation with her, and was like, okay, well, if she can make the money that she's making, surely I can make $500. And so to make a really long story short, I signed like, I don't know how many DTs in the first month, but a lot. I charted for diamond in my first 2 months. I did not go diamond for 3 months. I finished going diamond like literally at the last second of the last, you name it. Like it was seriously the last second of the day, the last second. I promise. Like it was like, oh my God, I got 2 seconds. Like it was really that bad. It was really crazy. So anyways, push to the end, whatever you're doing. I'm super excited about, this opportunity, this journey. That's pretty much it. Like I mean, I'm chartered for double diamond. I'm working on being chartered for triple diamond. And I had fallen in love with this business, and my advice would, be just to get in and just jump in and go, just jump in and go.
Love it. Thank you so much. I love your story. Only went diamond 3 months in. Okay, Kelsey, you are next. She's texting me. She's like, I'm a little lost. I think she's driving home from Chicago. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm literally pumping gas. It's no big deal. Okay, so I got started over 3 years ago, and I actually just wanted $300 or $500 a month, and I honestly would have been happy with that. And I think, the coolest thing about how this business works is like it always leaves us wanting more. But we have to find how to be content, but not satisfied. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, when I jumped in, like, I had no idea what I was doing, you guys. Like, people were like, what's this wrap? And I was like, it's a botanically based cloth that tightens and tones. Like I was literally copying and pasting crap from the website because I would ask Erin and she's like, it's on eSuite. And I was like, okay. So I basically didn't know what I was doing, but that made me learn really quickly. So I just jumped in and started talking to people, and I was just excited. Like, I think that you'll hear every single person on this Zoom. The common denominator is that we were all excited. Okay. We were just all excited about this business. And so I jumped in, had no idea what I was doing, and went diamond in 4 months, got a $10,000 bonus. And I was like, I got this figured out, and then sat at diamond for a year. And then it took me a year to go double diamond. And then it took me a year to go triple diamond after that. And a year and some change later, like going for Prez. And I've always had growing pains along the way. I've always learned, I've found that like the new levels you get to, there's new devils and there's new challenges and there's new trials that you have. But the best thing about this business for me is the constant growth, that I'm never going to be satisfied. Like I'm never going to be okay with just being okay. Like I don't ever want that. And for me, that's the most exciting part. So I know that was super long-winded, but yeah, that's my story.
No, Kels, it's expected. Okay, let's go with Tay, wherever you are. Oh, I see you. You're in the top right. You're always in the top right.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So my name's Taylor Flanders. I'm a double diamond. It'll be my 3-year mark this July. Just so crazy. I can't believe 3 years has already gone by. But I've loved every minute of it. I started this business really just wanted to lose weight. Sorry if it's like really loud. I'm kind of like by a highway. This is probably a terrible location, but anyways. So I started this when I was in nursing school. I really just wanted to like lose weight, and I didn't really think I'd make much money with it, but I really just wanted me to like get products for free, so make enough money to cover my products. And so the first month then I was like, oh man, I think I can actually make money with this. I went like Ruby my first 2 months, and then I just got really comfortable. I didn't really ever think that I would ever really need this, and I wasn't hungry. So I was really just not like giving it my all. I was posting every day, but I wasn't messaging every day. I wasn't growing my market. I wasn't doing self-development. I was just really like laid back with it. And I sat at executive for about 8 months, and 8 months later, I graduate with my RN and I failed my boards. And so pretty much my whole future just kind of flip-flopped on me. And I was like, okay, well, now what? You know what I mean? Like, I can't go be a nurse, so I got to do something. So I started working this business. And 2 months after I failed, I went from executive to diamond, claimed some bonuses, and that was just like life-changing for me. And then I promoted to double diamond, I think almost a year after I went diamond. And so I'm just still trucking along trying to hit triple. And you know, this business is just such a big blessing, and you never know when you're going to need it. And quite frankly, you're super smart if you start working it like you need it before you actually need it. Because I feel like every 9 months, something crazy happens in our lives, rather it's a family death, rather you need to take time off of work, rather it's you lose your job, you get pregnant. Crazy things happen, big expenses happen, and why not be successful with this business so you can take care of those things when they happen and you don't have to worry about it. So that's kind of like my big tip for that.
I love it. I use you as an example all the time because you wouldn't believe how many nurses I talk to every day, and they're just like, I don't have time. I'm like, oh, but you do, because my friend Taylor did it. I use you all the time. Yeah. Okay, Kayla, where are you? I see you. I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, you're unmuted.
Yay! Hi. So I've been in this business. It'll be a year this coming up June, like the last day of June, because I literally joined at the last second. I joined during the $9.99 kits. And so yeah, so in June it'll be a year, and I just hit my Ruby mark. Was it last month already or 2 months ago already? It was, yeah. And so I'm a huge advocate for, you know, staying in this business no matter what your rank is, because you can be a leader and you can have leadership skills and qualities and work towards where you want to go no matter what your rank is. And, you know, you don't have to have the huge success story of being diamond in 30 days or, you know, being a triple diamond or a presidential before, you know, you even hit your year mark. I think it's really important to continue your journey no matter where you are, because it's your journey. It's not anyone else's. And so Taylor is my upline, and she followed up with me. And this is why follow-ups are huge, and we'll get to this later. But she followed up with me for an entire year before I joined. And actually, it was like a crazy God moment, because I joined, and then that weekend or that next week, I got let go from my job. And I worked a 9-to-5 corporate job, which I freaking hated. And when I got let go from it, I actually felt this huge sense of relief, and that I wasn't meant to be doing that, and I was actually meant to be doing It Works. And so I joined then, and it's just been it's been an amazing journey. And something I love about this company is the culture of the company. And I will always say this, even if I didn't make a dime with this company, I would never leave, because of the friendships and the people and the culture that I've created, and I've created with people, and I've met the most amazing people. And I think that's just, it's so cool, you guys. It's so cool. And just to like show your excitement and always be excited, because you never know where this could take you. And I think it's just, yeah, it's been amazing. So that's my like little story.
I love that you said about the friendship thing, because, you know, guys, Kayla's been in for a year and she's Ruby. You know, she's not like, oh, I'm quitting because I'm not diamond yet or I'm not double yet. Like, guys, this is your journey. This is no one else's journey. This is your journey. It may take you 3 years to go double diamond, but when you start making $7,000 a month, wouldn't that be worth it to you? So I just love that. And one thing I will mention about Kayla is she goes to events. And like, she lives in Chicago, near the Chicago area. And anytime I go to Indiana, she's there. Like, she's been to Indiana the past 2 or 3 times. And I feel like that's what really keeps Kayla going, is like the friendships and being around all of us. And it helps me too. And I know it helps everyone else. You know, Kristen goes, Taylor goes, Kelsey goes. And it's just so important to go to events and meet new people and be around like-minded women. Okay, so we're going to get right into it, you guys. I have a lot of really, really good questions. I'm super excited. So obviously everyone's different. Here's kind of how I want to go about it. I want you guys, I'm not going to be like, okay, Kristen, answer this question. I want you guys, if you feel strongly about it, to be like, okay, I want to answer that question. But then Kayla and Kristen, I want you to speak kind of on behalf of this next question, because Kristen is a teacher and Kayla works full-time at Starbucks. And then Taylor also worked full-time as a nurse there for a while. So I kind of want them to speak on behalf of this next question. So on days when you're running super busy, how do you fit this into your schedule? And then kind of how do you fit it into your work schedule for those of you who work? So I'll start with Kristen, just so we're not like all over the place.
Okay, can you repeat the question for me a couple times?
So on days when you're running and super busy, or for you, that could be work days. So let's say Monday through Friday when you're teaching. How do you fit this business into your schedule? What's a day look like for you?
I just had to kind of get to a place. I started this business in the summer as a teacher. And so actually today was the last day of school for the kids. And so I'm getting ready to put my like running shoes on, guys, and it's over with. Okay. Like I'm going to run again like I did when I started. Now I know where I'm going. I kind of have a clue what I'm doing. But I think when I returned to school, I had a hard time just trying to like balance. And when I had to realize there isn't a balance, guys, there's not a balance. Things are always going to happen. Things are always going to be going on. And you just have to make the decision that there's something in this business for you. And there's something in this business for you, and that you're going to go after it. And so what I do is I just make it a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable for me to post. It's a non-negotiable for me to send my messages. And so there are things that a lot of times are really busy, and people will say they're busy, so we know we're busy getting up in the morning, we're rolling out of bed, we're trying to get out of the house, or trying to get our kids, if you have kids, to where they need to go. We're driving in the car, we're trying to get all of our stuff. If you're like me, I always have like 1,000 things that I need to carry, and it's never in any kind of organized fashion. Okay. Like seriously, stuff is always like falling out of everything. Okay. That is me all day long. Like I'm constantly going, but like I had to really think about, where do I have the time? You have to become very intentional about what you're doing. So like posting in the morning, I should get to school at 7:15. I can get there around 7:45. It's horrible, but I should get there at 7:15. So I'm like usually rolling out of the bed. And then like I have a son, I'm trying to get him to school, trying to get him dressed, yelling at him, like literally. So posting like right when I get up is usually not what I do. But what I do is when I get in the shower, guys, I listen to personal development. I have, there is time. You just have to really think about it. And, so I get in the shower, I turn on my personal development, I turn on loud so I can hear, I also have affirmations. So where a lot of people might repeat their affirmations, they may read them off. I actually record my affirmations and I play those when I'm in the shower. Okay. So, I'm in the shower for 10 minutes. Guess what? 10 to 15 minutes of personal development a day will do wonders for you. Okay. And so listening to my affirmations in the morning, I don't even have to wait till I get in the shower, but I usually do. I can turn them on and just let them roll. And I'm listening to my own voice, like speak to me. Okay. That's just one thing that I do. All right. When I get in the shower, I'm turning on some kind of personal development. It might be a podcast or a book or, whatever, my affirmations like literally last like a minute. Okay. It doesn't take long to listen to my affirmations. When I get in the car, I'm replacing my music with affirmations or with personal development, or I'm putting an earbud in. Maybe your car doesn't have a DVD or you have to be creative, honestly. You have to be creative. You're going to have to do that for your dreams. You're going to have to do that if you want your dreams to come true and you don't want to keep working for someone or, going, even if you're not working to, have this crazy income. Maybe you just came in for $500 like I did and you're working for that $500. Guys, if you're working for that $500, you're either going to do it from your phone, sitting on your bed. Like I'm looking down and I'm seeing people working. That's amazing. I see you all working. Like it's cool. All right. Or you're going to get in the car and you're going to be on somebody else's clock and you're going to go stand in somebody else's place. You really have to weigh, what do you want out of this business? Because when you become disciplined enough to do it for yourself, you will grow a crazy significant income. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens with consistency and commitment. So you make that time. Like I am busy. I am so busy all the time. Where do I fit in a power hour? I schedule it in. We all have an hour. Don't turn on Game of Thrones. Don't turn on Law and Order. Don't turn on that can wait. It can wait. It's called Hulu. Get Hulu. Watch it tomorrow. Okay? Watch it another day. Watch it on your weekend. Watch it when you have that time and be intentional, posting every day. That's a non-negotiable for me. If I have to go to Alyssa's page and copy for the day and I do not recommend that you make that a habit. But on days where I'm like, oh my God, I don't have anything up. What does Taylor have on her page? Okay, I swear to you. Okay. I do. I don't do that very often. But there are days that are like that, but I'm not going to be like, well, I'm not going to get it up. So, I can go to somebody's page right now and pull that up, guys, and post. It is not that difficult, but you have to get into your head, the reason why you want this business. And once you decide why you want this business, and honestly, I was looking over at Kelsey being like, oh, shoot, she's got something that I want. I want freedom. I want this, life that she has where she can just come and go with her kids as she wants. I want that. So I'm willing to follow who is doing it. Why do we have all the resources and we don't follow what the person is doing that's going somewhere? Follow that person. They're leaving clues for you. And sometimes we overcomplicate it. This business is not complicated. It's discipline. So you just have to be disciplined about what you're doing. I just fit it in. I swear to you, I've taken orders in the restroom. I don't care. Not on the toilet, guys, you know what I mean? But if I go to I'll go to the restroom to take an order that I know if I don't take this order, I'm going to miss it. And so I call security. Hey, yes, can somebody come and release me to the restroom for just a moment? Yeah, thank you. And then I go to the restroom, I place an order and I come back. Guys, you just have to figure it out. How bad do you want it? I want it bad. And, you're going to see a lot of me. I want it bad. So you got to decide, how bad do you want it? What do you want? And what's the alternative, I think, is the bigger question. If you're not doing this, what are you going to be doing? And will you be happy doing that? Okay. All right. I'm done on my soapbox.
Well, I love everything you just said. Oh my gosh. She's so I just need to touch on 10 different things she said, but seriously, I know in the evening, especially if you work a full-time job, you guys come home and you're exhausted. I get it. I know because I worked full-time for 6 months while I was doing this business building to diamond. And I just made it a priority. I came home, I did the things, and I teach my team to do the same thing. Guys, go home, do what you need to do. But then you need to sit down. You need to get a power hour in. If that's all you get in for your day, then so be it. Get some messages out, get some ads, whatever you got to do, but make it a priority. Okay, Taylor, you want to touch on this?
Yeah. So I worked full-time as a nurse for about 8 months doing this business as well. And it was really draining, no lie, super draining. Nurses only work 3 days a week, but it is so draining on your mind, on your physically, draining. So days that I was working, I woke up 30 minutes earlier, which was already at the butt crack of dawn. I had to be at work at 6:30. So I usually would wake up at 4:30, and I would lay in bed, get all of my follows done for the day. I would send out 20 messages, and then I would go to work. On my way walking into work, I would send out 10 more messages. I would, usually the night before, I would pre-plan my posts. Posting is one of those things where you can pre-plan them, so there's no reason that you aren't posting. You have to pre-plan that stuff, especially if you're someone who can't be on your phone pre-plan it the night before on Instagram and then go to the bathroom on a 2-second break and then just hit submit and boom, it's posted. And honestly, I was just fitting it in when I could. And every day looked different for me. And so like for self-development, I always listen to that on my way home from work, because a lot of times my mentality was just so far gone from work. I had to really focus on getting myself back in the right mindset. And so going home from work was the time that I found myself either talking to team members on the phone while I was driving, or if I had to call customer service, I would be like driving, calling customer service, or listening to self-development. So really making use of your time. And I feel like anytime I'm ever a passenger in the car, I am working my business. If I'm not driving, you best believe I'm sending messages, growing my market, or doing something productive, because that right there, I mean, that's just like time. You're just sitting there doing nothing. And you can still be having a conversation with the person next to you, but like you can still do so much in that time frame. And I just had a daily non-negotiable list. I mean, I have to message 50 people until I fall asleep at night. And so, you know, getting that 20 done before I even left my house was huge. That's almost half of my daily goal. And then just fitting in, you know, 10 messages on my lunch break and 10 messages when I get home from work and 10 messages after dinner. You just have to fit it in, like no excuse. And having that self-discipline is huge. Because you don't have anyone in this business sitting here making sure you're doing all the things you need to do. Like, you are your own boss, and so you have to set those boundaries for yourself, and you need to write a schedule out. And every day could be different, but you need to write a daily schedule out and what you want to get done that day, and check it off as you do it. So then at the end of the day, you can look at it and be like, what have I done today? You don't have nothing checked off. You better get to work. You know what I mean? So using checklists is huge for me. It helps hold myself accountable.
I love that. And one thing Taylor didn't mention is because she hustled like that, guys, she's PRN now. So she works like, what, one day a week? One day a week?
Not even. I have to work one shift a month, but sometimes I pick up.
Yeah. Because she hustled. Guys, Taylor could have easily been like, I'm working 12 hours. I do not have time for this. Look at what she was. It just blows my mind. Like, she got 20 messages out before she went to work. And she got in all of her follows in the morning. She listened to her self-development on the way to work or the way home. You know, Kristen listens to it on the way to work, in the shower. Like, these people made time for it, and their hustle is going to get them places. Like, clearly it's paying off for both of them. So, Kayla, you are working full-time, so tell us about that. How do you fit this into your schedule?
Yes. So I think it's super important. When you start this business and going through this business, I think it's very crucial to your personalized business. You need to find out why you're in this and why you're sticking to it, because there are going to be days where you don't want to do shit. There are going to be days where you're like, why am I even messaging these people? Why am I even posting? Especially on busy days, especially if you work a full-time job and you are dog-ass tired coming home and you're just like, I just want to watch Netflix and go to bed. Like, because our job, you message people and you message people and you post and you don't see the results from that right away. I can't remember who said it, but they said that this business is always 3 months behind your work ethic. So you're going to work, and you're not going to see that until 3 months in or 3 months later. But you're going to be so damn lucky you did once you start seeing all of those people finally reaching back out to you and being like, oh my God, yeah. Or, hey, remember when, you said that a couple months ago? Like, I'm ready to try that now. And it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. So you need to find out why you're doing this and what you love about this business. Do you love getting loyal customers? Do you love helping people with products? Do you love getting distributors? Do you love training people? Do you love coaching people? What do you love about this business? I personally, I love getting distributors. I love coaching people. I love training people. I love getting on these Zooms and talking with everyone. Like, the friendship part is huge for me. I love this. This is like I also, along with working at Starbucks, I coach a varsity dance team at my local high school. So I'm their varsity coach. And I just love that. I feed off of that. So you got to find what makes you continue to do the work even when you're not seeing the results. And for those who do work a full-time job, I work at Starbucks, and I don't know if anyone works in like restaurant or retail or anything like that, but I am on my feet all day. I don't work an office job anymore. And so when I get home, I am dog tired. Like today was crazy because it was so hot outside. Everyone wanted a freaking Starbucks drink. And so I got home and I was like, oh my God, all I want to do is sleep. But then I remembered I have this training and I got excited again. So you have to find, that goes back to my point, you have to find what you love about this business. Because I could have gone to sleep and been like, screw it, but I love this. And so you have to fit it in during your breaks, just like how Kristen was saying. Like, I get 10 minutes, I get 2 10-minute breaks and then a 30-minute lunch. And you just got to fit it in. You got to have your posts ready, like Taylor was saying.
Can I just interject really quickly? Like,
what?
Can I just interject really quickly?
Yeah.
Because 10 minutes in this business is like so much time.
It is.
Like, people are like, I don't have time. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You're sitting in the carpool waiting to pick up your kid for 20 minutes. Like, they're like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
You know, sometimes I think when I have people who get started and they tell me they don't have time, I tell them, okay, so tell me what your schedule is. And they'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to tell you how many places I heard that you had time. And they're like, oh, I never really thought of that. And honestly, when you're not making time for your dreams and what you want, you don't know you have the time. But heck yes, there's so much time. Like, there are so many hours in the day. And there's so many times where we're just like resting and doing nothing. I mean, we just have that, we're just resting, you know, I'm just sitting outside. Like, you know, gosh, I went and ate some ice cream the other day, and I promise you, I was like, ice cream in one hand, like phone in the other. Like, come on, there's time. Like, you got time. Seriously, there's so much time. Just so much time.
Yes. And there's so much you can get done in that short amount of time. I remember, I did this thing yesterday with my team, and I messaged them 3 times throughout the day. And it was like in the morning, in the middle afternoon, and then at night. And I was like, okay, guys, send out 10 messages. And I sent that at like 11. And then at like 5, I was like, okay, 10 more. And then at 9 p.m., I was like, okay, 10 more. And then everyone that responded, I was like, okay, done. And they were like, that was so easy. And I'm like, and guess what? You just sent out 30 brand new messages to 30 brand new people. And it literally took not even 5 minutes. People were commenting, done. And it was like 10:05. And I was like, you see, you just sent out 10 freaking messages in 5 minutes. Like, it's so, I think we get in our heads and we overcomplicate it because it's a new concept. This business is different. It's new. And so you don't have someone over your shoulder bossing you around like you do at your normal 9 to 5. And so you have to do it yourself. But when you get into that routine and you do it, it goes by so fast.
Yes. Okay. So there were a couple things in there. Thank you, Kayla and Kristen. But I remember thinking, okay, I have to sit down and work this business for hours. Like, that's what I need to do. And now you wouldn't think, like, because I don't work full time, I do this full time. You would think that I have all the time in the world to work this business, but I have a puppy now and I'm running. Like, I just got back from Vegas yesterday. I had to go to the grocery store. I make time to go to the gym because I feel better when I look better. And I just literally went to Wendy's because my freaking puppy would not leave me alone. So I went to Wendy's today for an hour, ate my lunch, and worked my business for an hour. I probably sent out 50 messages, added all my people for the day, made a post, and I walked out of there like, oh, yes, like I just got so much done. And the common denominator in all these girls is 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here. Not, okay, you got to sit down and work your business for hours. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. And let's be real. Like, no one wants to do that. No one wants to do. That's not what we signed up for when we signed up for this business. One other thing Kayla said was this business is always 3 months behind your work ethic. I just want to love that. Just want to touch on that really quick because, guys, if you are new to this business or you have newbies on your team and they're messaging you and they're like, oh, I'm not signing anyone, and they're only a month into the business, you do not understand, guys. Like, the people who are mass signing people or the people who are signing distributors, customers, you got to realize, like, those people have been working for months. Those people have been planting seeds in people's heads for months. I don't just have people, you know, the day I message this girl say, okay, I want to join today. That's very rare. Like, they have to see my post for at least 1 or 2 or 3 or sometimes a year. So if you guys are new to this, like, it takes time. That's why you don't just, you know, join this business for 6 months and then quit and say, oh, screw it, I don't have any distributors. Like, keep going, guys. Like, if you are consistent with your business, things are going to happen for you. I promise you. Okay. So little Miss Connie Ramirez asked this question. What's the one thing you make a priority in your business? One thing, guys. I want each of you to touch on it. So, like, you are so busy, I don't know, or like maybe you get all of your things done, but what is the one thing that is a non-negotiable for you? We'll start with Kristen.
One thing that's a non-negotiable for me is checking in on my team. This business is not about me. I do not go one day without checking on somebody, asking how they're doing. What can I help with? How can I help you? This business is not about me. When we first come in, we often think that it's just all about us. But I promise, if you focus on your team and just figuring out how you can help them, that's going to build that relationship and that culture on your team. And that's going to make your business and everybody else's business thrive. I do not go one day without calling somebody, you know, looking at, you know, where do I need to touch on? Who do I need to touch on? Who do I need to love on? It's kind of the way that I look at it. Like, who do I need to love on? Who do I need to spend time with? Super important. It's not about you. Get out of your head. It's not about you. It's about other people.
Yeah, I love that. I love your heart, Kristen. Okay, Taylor.
It's messaging. I don't care. Okay, let's just back up here. Okay. If you're not posting and you're not growing your market, but you're messaging, like, you're still going to find people. Like, messaging is the bread and butter to this business. If you're not talking to people, you're not signing people. If you're not signing people, you're not growing your team and you're not helping people. So messaging is my number one, like, have to do every single day. And I think someone just asked, like, what are you messaging? What are you saying? To not scare people off. I recently just started doing this. I'm pretty sure I told you about it, Alyssa.
Yeah.
But I've been sending out compliments to people. The first time I message them, I just say, hey girl, I came across your page. You're super gorgeous. I just wanted to send some positive vibes your way today. And people are just like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. Like, that just made my whole day. And then they go follow me. Like, if they're not already following me, they literally go click follow as soon as they reply to my message. And then after that, I usually try to bring up, like, I look at their bio, try to see, like, if they're a nurse. Usually I'm following nurses, so most of them are nurses. I look to see, like, what the profession is, and I start a conversation. And then I tell them, well, I work from social media full time. And then I usually will end up saying, you know, I'm always looking for new collaborations. If you'd be interested in, you know, hearing about my income opportunity or product model positions, I think it'd be great. So I just kind of like weave it into the conversation. Or sometimes I kind of like start off right off the bat asking for product models. But typically I'm sending people a compliment first and then saying, you know, I'd love to collaborate with you. If you want details, I can send them. So I think it's all about your approach. And if you're super like genuine and nice about it, and you're making people feel good, like, it feels good sending out those compliments to people and actually meaning it, because people literally are like, you have no idea how bad I needed to hear that. And so you're like making people's day. So if you don't know what to say, just send a compliment and say, sending positive vibes your way today, and you will make people's day, like, for real. So that's my number one.
I love that. I've been doing that too, Taylor, because guys, I'm always like, I tell Kelsey too, I'm like, what's Taylor up to? Because she's constantly enrolling people. Like, anytime I see Taylor, like, dude, she is enrolling people. She's on her game. This girl sends out 100 messages a day, every freaking day, no matter what. Like, Taylor is on her A game. She hustles, and I love that about her. And I've been doing that too, because guys, it can be, I can see why it's uncomfortable just messaging people and like, hey, will you be a product model for me? You know, I did it. We've all done it, and it can be uncomfortable. So I've been incorporating what Taylor's been doing. I've just been saying the similar thing. Like, girl, I love your page. You're you're so gorgeous, just want to send some positive vibes your way. And from there, I'll send them another messages that says, you know, I have spots open for product models or income opportunities. If you'd like some more information, blah, 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 blah. And that kind of brings up the business. But it's just a really good way to get into people's inbox. And even if they don't message you back, like they're probably going to go to your page. They're probably going to follow you. And what I do is I message people who like my posts. So lately because I haven't been doing this, I've been messaging lately on Facebook a lot on Messenger. And I've been getting so many leads, like so many new potentials. I'll go to my quotes. I'll go to pictures of my nephews. I'll go to pictures of my dog. And if they like that post, I just say something like, hey girl, thanks so much for the love on my post. Let me see if I can find the message. I don't know. I can't remember what I said, but that's kind of like how I'm getting into their inbox. Oh, I think you'd be so awesome at what I do. If you'd like for more information, I'd love to tell you, or something like that. Because lately I've been messaging for distributors. But guys, if someone likes your post, doesn't matter if it works or not, that's a way in. Get into their inbox. And don't be obnoxious about it. Just give them a compliment or be sweet or whatever. But yeah, that's what I've been doing too. Okay, one non-negotiable, Kayla.
For me, it's posting. I have to post every single day. I don't care how busy I am. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm feeling uninspired, because there are some days when I'm just like, what the hell should I post today? Like, there's some days are rough, y'all. Like, I swear, if I can do this business, y'all can do this business. I'm a hot mess. But yeah, no, I have to post. I remember there was one day, or there's 2 days I didn't post in April. And it's because I lost my phone and I had to get a new one. And when I got my new phone, I had so many messages and people were like, are you okay? Are you alive? Like, you didn't post for 2 days. Like, what's going on? Do you still do this? Like, I was getting so many messages and I was like, y'all, I just lost my phone. So yeah, no, I have to post. I have to post about the products and the business every single day. And I do Instagram and Facebook polls, because Facebook has polls now. I do Instagram and Facebook polls every single day. You got to. That's my non-negotiable.
Polls are so good.
Wait, what? Facebook has polls?
Yes, Facebook has polls now.
When was this?
Happened like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yes, guys, that is life. Do it. Poll. On.
Yes.
I've been waiting for that.
I know.
I
know. It's life.
Guys, I'm telling you. Life.
Okay, Kelsey, one thing you make a priority every day.
I'm with Kristen. Like, there does not go a day where I do not talk to somebody on my team. I mean, mostly just because, like, y'all are, like, my best friends. So, like, I'm, like, wanting to just talk to you guys and make sure, you know, if there's anything I can help you with. Because, honestly, like, when Kayla was like, you know, you have to find what you love. What I love is the people in the business, and I love helping other people, you know, and so I think that is definitely like the thing that I do every single day that's like non-negotiable. But you know, for me, it's definitely posting. Like, if I don't post, like, I'm probably dead. And so Brian, like, and I'm like with Taylor, like, anytime I'm in the freaking car, like even now, like, I'm freaking driving for 3 hours and I probably sent out, like, I don't know, like 40 messages from post to post, because I have like text replacements, you know, so it just takes me like typing in like 3 things and my text replacement goes. So I just think, you know, you have to just be disciplined. Like, being disciplined is the name of the game, because you have to work based on what you want, not how you feel. Because if you work based off how you feel, you'll never do it. You'll never do this. Like, you'll literally never feel motivated every day. You're never going to feel like, hey, I want to send out messages, because what happens, you guys, is like fear gets in the way. So we don't want to send out messages a lot of times, and we act like we don't want to send it out because we don't know what to send, when in reality, like, if we think about it, we all know what to send, right? But the issue is that we're scared to get rejected. We're scared people are going to say no. We're scared of what people are going to think of us. We're scared, oh my God, are people going to unfollow me? We're scared whatever we're scared of, there's a fear underlying all of that. And so we have to get over it and realize that what's scarier than that is being in the same spot 4 years from now, is sitting at a job still complaining about your situation when you weren't willing to do anything to change it. And so we always, like, I think our brains are always triggered to like run away from like the pain right now, that sometimes we forget to look at the pain long term. And so I just encourage you guys to say, like Kristen said, like, what's your freaking alternative? Like, really, what is it? Because you can, you know, eliminate some pain now, you know, by maybe not getting rejected, or by, you know, having a couple people maybe say mean things on a hosted post or something like that. But you're going to feel a lot of pain later. And somebody said it, I don't know who it was, but, you know, you got to work like most people won't work so you can live like most people can't live. And, you know, you got to work on the front end or you got to work on the back end. And I'd much rather work right now so I can be laying on a beach somewhere, you know, when I'm 45, than be working until I'm 65 and then live paycheck to paycheck based off what the government is going to give me. And, you know, I've thought about that. You know, I've thought about that so many times, and it's just like, you know, this is my life. And, you know, I love Jesus, but I'm going to cuss a little here, because at the end of the day, and I'm not saying this because I do love people, but like, nobody really gives a shit about your problems. Like, all of y'all on here have problems, and I'm not saying that to be mean, but I'm saying that because like when you go to work and you're like, oh, I didn't feel good today, like your boss is not going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, just like don't, you know, like take the day off, like doesn't matter, we'll still pay you. Hey, you didn't feel like coming in, we'll still pay you even though you're hourly. Like nobody cares. Like, you're not going to be able to walk up to people and wear a sign that says, I don't feel like doing my work today. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, it really just doesn't. And so you have to decide, like, what is your future worth? What is your future worth? And work based on that, because that's what I do, like, every day. Like, I have a lot of, my fear is getting to 65 and not knowing what I just did for 65 years. I want to have very intentional stuff on, you know, this is what I did, this is what I built, this is where I'm going. And that's what you can do in this business.
Preach it. Keep going. Okay. So, I would just want to touch on something really quick, and then we're probably going to finish it with mindset. Okay. Don't feel like you have to go on and on about this, but I just want everyone on here to hear this. Do you ladies go through spurts of signing low customers and distributors? Or Kristen, since you're a diamond, is it constant? Taylor, because you're a double, is it constant? Kelsey, because you're a triple, is it constant? Kayla, is it constant? I want to hear from you guys. Like, is it constant for you guys, or, you know, does it go in spurts?
Mine definitely is not constant. Like, mine is like a freaking roller coaster, and it feels like, you know, when it rains, it pours either way. So if it's raining customers, it's raining customers. If it's raining dry spells, there's nothing, you know? But also, like, I think that happens a lot of times, and this is me, you know, admitting that I know this is why it happens for me, is because when I see a customer come through on my email, like, I'm like, it's like a high, and I'm like, dang, okay, like, I'm about to go get another one because I know I can do it. And like, I know in my brain that like I can do it, but sometimes you need to know in your heart and get that feeling like, holy crap, like, I can actually do this again. So I'm about to go get another one. So like today I signed like 6 customers. I haven't freaking done that in I don't know how long, but I think for the rest of the month I probably signed less than a total of 6 for that whole time. And so it's just like, you just want to keep it going, right? It's like the snowball effect. And so that's why I think the spurts happen, and especially with DTs, because we get in our own way when it comes to that stuff, because the DTs I feel like are more mental for people. And so when we sign one, we're like, yes, everybody wants this business, and we start getting that like abundant mindset going. And we're like, yes, there's so many people out here who haven't even heard of it, and yes, this is like freaking amazing. So like, we get more positive. But then if we go on a spell, we think, oh my God, something's wrong with us. And oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this or whatever. And so it's just like dry. So like I definitely go on runs for sure.
Oops, I muted myself. Does anyone else want to touch on that?
I can.
Okay.
I completely agree with Kelsey. Like when I'm on it, I am hot fire flames. Like it is, woo, yes. And when I am not, it is awful. Like this month was one of my worst months to date. Like it was just awful. And I know where I need to work on and what I need to work on and my level of work ethic. But is that going to stop me? No. And I think that that's where a lot of people start to go downhill because they have those really bad months. And I'm talking about really bad. And it wasn't just because I wasn't signing people. It was also about like the responses I was getting from people, the negativity I was receiving from people. It was a really bad month. And, you know, some people would take that and they would just be like, oh shit, maybe this isn't for me. Like, and just they run with it and then they slowly just die out. I'm not going to let that happen. And so you're going to have bad months. And that's something that we don't talk about enough in this business, I feel like, is you see everyone's success stories, but you don't see their struggle and their work ethic and how, you know, what they're doing to get to those success stories. So don't let a bad month or even 2 months or 3 months stop you from your ultimate why and your ultimate goal in this business, because we're all going to go through highs and lows, and you just got to push through. And so, yeah, I definitely wanted to touch on that because I'm coming off of one of my worst months ever. And so, so I wanted to touch on that and just tell people just don't give up. Don't give up.
Can I add one thing to that? If you can sign one customer, you can freaking sign 1 million. Like, that is it. This business is duplication. If you can sign one freaking customer, then you can go Ambassador Diamond. If you do not give up and you don't quit. Like, that is just it. You can sign one, you can sign 1 million. That is it.
Amen.
Super true. So for me, I think it is up and down. I, for the most part, have met my steps every single month. Almost since I started. I think I had maybe 1 month that I didn't meet my steps. But the thing about the business is, like, if I can meet my steps, I love what Taylor just said. If you can sign one, it's duplication. You just have to keep going, and it's a numbers game. You got to talk to enough people, and then once you figure out what you're doing, you know when to tweak things. You know what to say or how to say it or who to say it to, or like a lot of it is the same thing, and you figure that out. But for me, it's up and down. So, I've met my steps almost every month since I started. But the month that I didn't, and the months that I only meet my steps, in other words, I only get those 3 distributors and I only get 4 loyal customers, those months I reflect on, was it me? Like, is it something that I didn't do? Because a lot of times we want to blame it on the business, but a lot of times it's us. Like, seriously, it is us. We're in our head. We're letting things in our lives, get us, unfocused. We're not doing our personal development, which is huge, guys. It's huge because no's, it's just like if somebody told you you're ugly all the time, unless you've got somebody telling you you're beautiful, and unless you're around a circle of people who are pouring into you, you're probably going to start being like, well, is there something wrong with me? I was in a, like a emotionally, verbally abusive relationship before this business. And the first one I'd ever been in. And I'll just be honest, guys, I felt like I was this really strong person and I'm really beautiful. And I came out of that feeling like this big, okay? This big. And what I needed was to be around people who pour into me and to pour into myself and recognize what my worth is. And that is what this business is. It is getting paid for personal development. I swear, like, the better you are with personal development, the better you're going to grow into, with the business, and the bigger your paycheck is going to be. So yes, I have ups and downs, but when I do, the first thing I do is I reflect on, what didn't I do? Did I not message, every day? And a lot of times it's me. If you're not messaging every day, if you're not following up with people every single day, I'm not talking about 5 people, guys. I'm talking about like 20, 30 people, okay? Or more. If you're not posting every single day, if you're not doing personal development 10 to 15 minutes a day, if you're not connecting with your leaders and getting on their last nerve when you need to get on their last nerve, because some people need to get on their last nerve every day. That was me, and it's still me. I call Kelsey like 5 times a day. Like, I don't care. Like, pick up the phone. Like whatever your need is. If you, I love her so much. Whatever your need is, like if you don't need them every day, know when you do need them, not to be like, not doing, not to like, oh, I'm not going to reach out because I don't want to be a bother. Like, just, take my lead. Call like 5 times a day. Seriously, I'm making a little bit of a joke there, but at the same time, I'm serious. I do call her like 3 to 5 times a day. So, just whatever it takes, like, do it. Like, you have to go back and reflect on, are you doing the work? And most of the time we want to freaking sit and complain and be like, it's not working and nobody is liking me. That's personal development. No one's going to sign with me. Personal development. I'm not good at this. Personal development. Do your dang personal development and your business will start to burst at the seams. Okay? When you start thinking like that, you're either thinking with a poor mindset or you're thinking with an abundant mindset, and you have to figure out what kind of mindset you have. And once you figure that out, there are no excuses. When I don't sign people, if I say that I'm going to sign 30 customers, I said I was going to sign 30 customers this month. I went back and counted. I think I signed 17. Okay. I was like, crap. Okay. 17 is great, right? Like, everybody would love to sign 17 customers, but guess what? That wasn't my goal. And so I'm going to go back and I'm going to reflect on, like, what did I not do? Well, there were days that I didn't send out 100 messages. So guess what? I could have amped it up. And whose fault is that? Mine. Bing, bing, mine. Okay? Like, this business is a numbers game, and it is all about your mindset, personal development. You're going to have ups and downs. Reflect on yourself first and where you can improve. Don't reflect and say you're not good. Where can I improve? What can I do differently? Okay? And then you'll start signing people. And when you don't, move on. Next month, what am I going to do differently? Like, you have to have a growth mindset. All day long, growth mindset.
So good. This is so good, guys. I just wanted to ask that question because I just want to let you guys know, like, we have a ruby, we have a diamond, we have a double diamond, we have a triple diamond on this Zoom. And they're telling you that they have their days too. Like, they go through spurts of not signing customers and distributors. So don't think like you're not doing something wrong. Like, it's okay, but just like, that's what Kristen was saying. Know where you need to improve. If you've gone 3 months without filling your steps, it's probably you. I mean, let's just be honest. It's probably you if you've gone 3 months without filling your steps. But at least have that mindset of, okay, where do I need to improve? Maybe I should talk to my leader and ask my leader, okay, I haven't filled my steps in 3 months. What do you think I'm doing wrong? And she will probably tell you that you guys will come up a way to figure it out. Don't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself, because that's not going to get you anywhere. Okay, so the last thing is kind of like mindset, and I really want to keep this under an hour, but I do want to touch on this really quick. So I heard an analogy. Oh, it was the Diamonds and Above Zoom last week. So good. It was an analogy with this business and marriage. And like, if you're married or you're engaged or whatever, guys, like, I've been with my husband. Well, we've been married for almost a year, together for 10 years. And he's sitting in the living room. You guys, you have passion, okay? Like, when you first meet that person, you're so passionate. You're like, oh my God, and then you start to go out of that passion, but then you go back into that passion. And like, when you're married, you have to find different ways to find that passion. You're not just going to give up. You're not just going to be like, okay, well, I'm not that passionate about you today. I quit. Like, I want a divorce. You know what I mean? And so that is such a good analogy with this business. Just because you're not feeling passionate today, you're having a bad day, doesn't mean this business isn't for you. And it doesn't mean that you have to just up and quit. So I just want each of you, or like maybe one or two of you, if you guys are feeling strongly about this, when it comes to this business, what is your mindset? How do you work on your passion? Even on your worst days, how do you work on your passion?
I'm going to go real quick because this has been on my heart. I think that passion is like, it's kind of bullshit, to be honest. Like, I mean, everybody is going to have passionate days, but it's kind of like motivation. You know, it's just, there's days where you're going to feel passionate, and then there's days that you're not. But the biggest common denominator is mindset and how you choose to feel. Okay? Because at the end of the day, how you feel really is a choice. You can choose to stay in that, or you can choose to not. And, you know, it's not that, you know, like, let's say you had a bad day at work, like Kayla, for instance, like, she was freaking working all day, and like her feet freaking hurt, and her mind is probably just like drained because those Starbucks drinks can be complicated. And like, we can all freaking just like agree that that's like a hard day. Like, dang, like, yeah, she did have a hard day. It's understandable if she didn't want to work her business, but it's also understandable that she has these dreams that she's fighting for. Okay. And you just have to choose which is more important. And it's just on my heart to share something like a little bit more personal, because I think that like it opened my eyes so much. So I'm epileptic, for those of you guys who don't know. I have seizures, and there's this medicine and that I can take that's supposed to help me. But I always had the mindset of, well, they don't even know what causes my seizures, so they don't know if this is going to fix it. And if they don't know what caused it, especially I didn't take the medicine. I'm sure you guys are like, yeah, that's a valid point. Like, they don't, it's like kind of throwing a dart blindfolded. Like, if you don't even know, you know, what is the cause of something, like, how are you going to fix it, right? So I was just like, man, I'm just not going to be very disciplined. So long story short, the other day I had a seizure, and my husband was like literally about to like divorce me, probably, because he was like, why aren't you taking your medicine? Like, I can't believe that, like, you know, you wouldn't do this because you have kids, like, you have a family, even if it helps your chances, like 1% to not have a seizure, like, it's worth taking. And I was like, well, he doesn't understand, like, he's not the one that has to take, you know, take the medicine, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't, he's not the one that it like affects. Like, I'm not to take this medicine for the rest of my life. And, you know, like, all of you guys to be like, that's a valid reason. Like, you know, I understand where she's coming from. So I went to the doctor, and I was kind of explaining all this to him. And he said, do you want to know something? He said, you should be happy that they don't know what causes your seizures, because for the people that they do know, the medicine doesn't really work. And the reason I'm telling you this is not to tell you this story, just to freaking tell you this story. The reason I'm telling you this is because all he did was shift my mindset 12 degrees, however many degrees you want to call it. And my whole outlook on this thing changed. Because what if they could find the reason that I had seizures? Like, what if I had this big brain abnormality, there was a defect in the structure of my brain, something like that, and they could find it, and guess what? The medicine wouldn't help me, and I would have to get brain surgery, and I would have to do that. Okay? But I wasn't looking at it that way. I was thinking, poor, pitiful me. And it might have been an understandable reason to feel that way. Yeah, it's a bad hit. I have fucking seizures. Like, that's a horrible hit. Not many people have to deal with that. But do you know what? Like, do you see me, like, over being like, well, I have this, so, like, I can't do this, and I can't do that, and this is going to be really hard, and this is, like, no. Because, like, I get to choose how I feel about it, and today I choose, and for the rest of my life, I'm going to choose that I'm going to go on despite that. Like, and I just hope that, like, all of you guys can realize that this business isn't about who has it worse, who has it better. Oh my gosh, well, she stays at home all day, so she has all the time to work this business. Oh my God, well, I don't have time because I do this and this and this. Okay, and are you going to make this business a priority or not? It doesn't matter if you work full-time. It doesn't matter if you don't even work at all. It doesn't matter if you have kids. It doesn't matter if you do have kids. This just has to be a priority if you want it to work. And that, at the end of the day, is your choice. Nobody else's. That's your choice. Because it's funny to me when I talk to people that have joined the business before and then quit, and they're always like, yeah, you know, it just didn't work for me. Like, I just really didn't put my all my effort in. But, you know, like, I really am started to think about, like, giving it another shot. And I'm thinking to myself, what's changed? Like, what's changed? You know, like, you're thinking about giving it another shot when it was your mindset the whole time. Like, if I can go triple diamond, you guys, like, you can. Like, nothing about my situation is any worse or better in regards to the business. Like, you have all the same eSuite tools. You have all the same team pages. You have all of the same stuff as far as the business goes. It's just the decision of what you decide to do with that. That's it. Because everybody has stuff going on in their life. Stop making excuses. Just make it a priority. Anybody else can go. That's it. That's all I have.
Mic drop. We're done. We're out. That was so good. So good. Does anyone else want to touch, or are we good? Kristen, you want to say something? No. Okay, guys. That was so good. I have it recorded. Give me until tomorrow morning. I'll post it in the team pages, but this was so good. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kayla, Kristen, Taylor, Kelsey. This was amazing. I hope you guys got something out of it, but I'll see you later. Bye, guys.